Hello, beautiful people. I'm going to read to you today from Scene 2, Manfred, Scene 2, a lower valley in the Alps, a cataract. Enter Manfred. It is not noon. The sunbow's rays still arch the torrent with the many hues of heaven, and roll the sheeted silver's waving column o'er the crags headlong, perpendicular, and fling its lines of foaming light along and to and fro, like the pale courser's tale, the giant steed to be bestrode by death, as told in the Apocalypse. No eyes but mine now drink this sight of loveliness. I should be soul in this sweet solitude, and with the spirit of the place divide the homage of these waters. I will call her. So this kind of brings to mind this man who's enjoying the romanticism of nature. He's in an aurora borealis, and it's beautiful, and it's light, and it's rainbow, and what does it bring to his mind? It brings to mind the apocalypse, because he's a Byronic hero, and of course it would. He's thinking about death and dark things always, because he's complicated. And in that same moment, we can look at this from a deconstructive analysis. He should be, as a character, loving solitude. And in this line, though, they use the word, I should be soul in this sweet solitude. I should be alone. Like, he even knows to play the part. He should be doing something. And yet, he's like, it's so pretty here. I should share this with somebody. He says, and with the spirit of the place, divide the homage of these waters, like the literal water of the rainbow. And his next line is, I will call her. And he sounds like some emo kid who wants to be dark and doesn't need anybody, but at the same time he's got his cell phone in his hand. He's like gonna call his new crush, be like, what's up, girl, come hang out with me, because he doesn't really want to be alone. And this is the contradiction in this of the character's words versus his actions. All through this, Manfred wants to be one thing and kind of is another with his actions. The second quote, I'm going to go full emo for you. He's just told the Witch of the Alps that he's too dark and she's not going to understand what's going on in his life, and he's just loves nature and wants to be alone. And she's like, I know not that, let thy lips utter it. And he says, well, though it torture me, 'tis but the same, my pain will find a voice. From my youth upwards, my spirit walked not with the souls of men, nor looked upon the earth with human eyes. The thirst of their ambition was not mine. The aim of their existence was not mine. My joys, my griefs, my passions, and my powers made me a stranger. Though I wore the form, I had no sympathy with breathing flesh, nor midst the creatures of clay that girded me. But there was one who, but of her, anon. Okay, so in this passage, he's like the guy at work that, you say, hey, how are you, as you're passing, and you think he's going to go like, good, how are you? And that's going to be the end of that conversation. But instead, he wants to tell you how he really is, even though he might act like that he's too complicated to understand. The Byronic hero wants to tell you how he is from my youth upward. So you asked, and now he's going to tell you. He'd never been able to connect with other people because he doesn't give them a chance. He is not of the same clay. The whole Prometheus story, he's maybe was built with the same clay, but he's not like them. And he has to keep making himself distinct because he's in an existential crisis like always. Being a stranger, obviously that kind of relates to Frankenstein to me, because Frankenstein's creation is called The Stranger, and he has to experience life on a deeper level because he's ridiculed, because he's not accepted as society. But part of that, from the deconstructive lens, is like, you are wearing that persona and you're making sure that you're not part of society by portraying yourself as a dark hero. Modern day anti-hero you know, you're not in an existential crisis. You maybe are morally gray, but we know that you're trying to make the world better. My modern day Byronic hero, I have a little action figure here for you. This is Kylo Ren, if you don't recognize him, and he's from Star Wars. My son hates that he's the character at all and thinks that he shouldn't have ever been in existence, but I love him because I like Adam Driver. He is a Byronic hero because he has a dark past. He's aristocratic because he's a descendant of Han Solo, and he's also a descendant of Darth Vader, and he is trying to have the dark force come and control the galaxy. Like, he's not a Sith, he's also not a Jedi, so you're not sure, like, are you good or are you bad? And he has this romantic connection to Rey, who is this light who knows how to use the force. And in the end, he ends up killing his dad, so he's definitely a bad guy, but then he ends up dying to save the resistance and to help Rey further the good of the force. And so Kylo Ren is my modern day Byronic hero. Bye.